And as for movies, I'm a believer in that movies should have new content. Otherwise, we can't get legendary characters like Broly or Cooler if we're talking Dragon Ball Z, or Janemba, who I thought was pretty neat too. I love watching certain fights in theater. Like, if you know what happens in the manga for Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm very thrilled to see a specific fight in theater, and I would love more than anything to see certain Lumi Lumi fights in theater. But when it comes to utilizing that as a method of just trying to retain money, I am extremely against that. I'm going to create multiple movies with multiple new additional characters and villains. It's not just going to be something that people yank out of the original story just because it's easy to do that and throw it into a theater with half of 3 episodes and then re-air those episodes. No, we're not doing that. If you want to do that because you love the show and you want to see it in theaters, then fine, I agree. But we are going to have actual movies and they're going to be awesome. I can promise you that. And so, yeah, that's also going to be another thing. And so, overall, it's going to be a very, very long process. And the more support I get, the better. The earlier it comes, the longer and quicker this thing can go. And for those who are preventing or stalling it to try to create other crafts, the more you prevent or stall, the more ideas I get. Like Wizard of Oz came out in theaters, and suddenly I was able to warp a Wizard in Oz idea. You keep letting me absorb things from other anime and movies and TV shows, and I'll keep naturally watching them warp themselves into my story and enhancing it. Just let me be, support me, and push me forward. That would be awesome. And I'm a forgiving soul if people who were doing what they did just came out front and went forth and said their wrongs. It would be a lot easier because I could just move on from there and leave all these thoughts and these posts that I've been doing. I could just start focusing on Lumi Lumi strictly and suicide prevention, which is another thing I wanted to do for my mom's suicide. It would be very helpful. And the app developments I want to do, like a suicide app called Through Me, and little motivational books to help people in terms of everyday life, like a book called The Butterfly Effect. I have a lot planned, including 2 things called the Lazarus Project, but I'm not going to go into that because that's probably from 50 years from now I'll start working on that. And also, what's that? Soul Tech, which is something I might be working on too in about 30 years, but I think I'll work on it slowly over time like Kirito did with his little friendly AI companion daughter.